And now, welcome to the Heels and Quads Wrestling Podcast.
The show must go on, but things must go wrong.
Is what weirds me out a little bit.
It's that I think that's doing it to me too.
I can't tell if it's sexual.
You are nothing to me. You are nothing to me.
Hulk,
And he tells Hulk, "Do
I
something."
used you, Brooke.
Yeah.
I screwed
you. Yeah. You know, if he says something wrong to me, I'm gonna go, "Look, dude, I'm in a big league again."
Look, dude. Do you know who I am, and do you know how much money I've made doing it?
Yeah. And everybody's just having a good old fucking time here. They're having a great time at That's the Beach.
Because it was free.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe
He
another
does it
one,
like
Terry.
3
He
or
does
4
it,
more
yeah,
times.
right. Well, I mean, it's the atomic electron.
Wrestling is so fucking stupid, dude. God, I love it. Yeah, now. Welcome to the Heels and Quads Wrestling Podcast on video and on podcast platforms. I should look in the camera when I do this. You. Uh-oh, the atomic leg drop. Anyways, we're back at it as usual. Actually, back on Monday. It was, we've had a weird schedule lately because Tommy and I have, as you know, we don't do this for a living. So, yeah,
But we'd like to.
other things. Yeah, that'd be
So
cool.
go to patreon.com/Heels and Quads. Sign up for Patreon. Let's get about 20 more, and let's do drink-alongs on Zoom calls.
That would be cool. I would like that. I'll claw out a red wine out. And maybe I'll even throw in a fully loaded chew.
I can't see everybody here, but people over there, let me hear you. People over there, let me hear you. Wild animals, make some noise. All the way in the back, let's hear you. All the way over there, let's see those hands. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. Hold on. People in the middle, let me hear you.
Tommy, let's talk about fully loaded chew. Look at that.
The following podcast has been sponsored by Fully Loaded Tobacco-Free Dip.
Go to fullyloadedchew.com. Use coupon code HEELPOD10. That's HEELPOD10. I'll put it at the bottom throughout the episode like I did for Go Green Hemp. But this and future episodes of the show are sponsored by Fully Loaded Chew. They've got all different kinds. Dark wintergreen.
They do have a lot of flavors.
Regular
Let me bring it up.
wintergreen. They've got a bourbon flavor. I haven't tried that yet. I want that next. But it's awesome because if anybody's like me or Levi, we used to dip, don't anymore. We use the nicotine pouches. These are a little more like dip. You have the actual one, like the can with the substance that's not tobacco, but it looks like tobacco. It's got a little bit of a tea leafy taste to it, but you get that nicotine buzz from it, but it also produces spit that looks like dip. So it makes you feel like you're actually dipping.
I literally just, as soon as you said that, just figured out that it's tobacco free.
Yeah.
I the whole time I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this is just, wow, awesome, cool.
Yeah. So
go to fullyloadedchew.com.
It looks like tobacco. It looks like dip, but it's not.
So there is dark wintergreen, mint, peach, classic, bourbon, berry, cherry, and straight. So you kind of have that skull line of flavors if you compare it to dip. That is pretty cool, dude.
It's awesome. You get that. Like I said, you get that. Put it in. I have mine in for about an hour. Lasts longer than the nicotine pouches, obviously, because those about 20 minutes and they're toast. But yeah, fine product, tasty. Get that same buzz you get from a dip. And then the pouches are nice too. They come out and they're really juicy. Like you have it on your fingertips before you put it in. Like you can feel the juice in it. It's nice.
Ooh, that's a good moist dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll actually
like
show you here.
I hope I get my cans today.
That's what the pouch looks like.
Oh.
And then see? Can you see it?
Oh, I want to smell your fingers so bad right now. Thanks for the pouches, by the way.
Yeah. I'll email and be like, hey, he didn't get his care package. But he's supposed to be sending another one, the guy that I've been dealing with here.
Oh, I hope he sends me one this time because I sure would like some. There is free shipping on orders $40 or more, plus the coupon code HEALPOD10 gets you 10% off. So get yourself some Fully Loaded Chew. There is some solid deals on here. I'm actually looking at them right now. There is a membership as well. You can become a member and it's like an annual fee, and your can is like basically $1. Every can's like $1 off. So for instance, here I'll go to the straight dip, and one can is without a membership. One can is $4.49 a can. 5-pack, which is a roll. Is $4.39, and a log, which is a 10-pack, is $3.99 per can. So you're better off getting a 10-pack, and then a subscriber gets the chew for $3.49 a can, which is 22.27% off per can.
Yes. And
Jesus, that's scary.
I get the full nicotine, which is 7 milligrams, which is one down from the on that I use. That's 8. So, but they also have the different levels like any other nicotine pouch.
Oh, cool. Okay, because I was curious. Well, the straight one only has full, and let me see here. Let me go back to that.
I would advise you, if you are a dipper or used to be a dipper and you are looking for a substitute, to start with the 7. It doesn't seem like it's as strong as the straight pouches, but that's because, obviously there's other stuff in it. But it's spiced with cayenne pepper, so that's where you get that nice buzz from.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That burn?
Yeah.
All right. So there you go, our newest sponsor. Tommy dug around and got that one. So buy some Fully Loaded Chew if you do that kind of thing. Like, I want my care package so I can stop using these things.
Yeah, Fully Loaded, get on that.
And I'm going to order some anyways. Yeah, come on, Fully Loaded.
Also, before we get to Bash at the Beach 2000, I wanted to mention, thank Mike and Jay from We Watched a Movie. They are moving on to another network, and they have invited us. We've been invited to go with them. So I'm looking into that. We'll see. I'm waiting on the head of that network to get with me through email. And
nice website.
Kind of tell me what they're all about. I want to know what their plan is before we jump on board.
And that's all you get to know for now.
So this week, we are just the Heels and Quads Wrestling Podcast by ourselves.
Presented by the Heels and Quads Wrestling Podcast.
And
there's contract disputes right now. We're working it out, though.
Yeah.
See, I got the contract papers right here, and we got to sign them. And
we're looking into it.
Anyways.
So we might be in a new home next week, but we'll see.
All right, and Ernie Ball, if you want to sponsor the show, I can use
Ernie
some
Ball
guitar strings. So
let's see who else.
Seymour Duncan, EMG, Fishman Pickups. If you want to sponsor the show,
Frank's Red Hot. If you'd like to sponsor the show,
Dunlap Jazz Picks, Flex,
Vicks melatonin gummies. My kids eat these up, so if you want to sponsor the show, that'd be nice. Who else?
I got some CBD gummies with melatonin in them, and they make me dream weird.
Blowfish for hangovers. If you want to sponsor the show, I use your product
quite
that? Often. It's like an Alka-Seltzer tablet, but it's called Blowfish. It's specifically for hangovers. And
interesting.
It works because I used one yesterday because I was very hungover.
Oh, it was Sunday morning yesterday. Yes, and you were just finished your work week, right?
Dude, I had a throbbing headache yesterday morning, and then I used the blowfish.
You work Saturday, right?
Oop. Tuesday through Friday.
That's
double
right.
on Friday.
Week. That's right. You were still recovering from Friday.
Yeah.
Work. Yeah.
I actually might start working Tuesday nights as well, just because it's been so slow lately. Not so much slow, just lack of money. Everybody kind of stopped tipping once they stopped getting that extra $600 a week
to sit on their fucking ass.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm back at work, putting my life on the line.
Yeah, no shit.
To not make any money. Anyways, all right, let's go to
Speaking of putting your life on the line, let's talk about Bash at the Beach 2000.
I'm in.
What?
I'm in.
WCW Bash at the Beach 2000 took place July 9th, 2000 in Daytona Beach, Florida at the Ocean Center. It says the attendance was 6,572 here on Wikipedia, but I think that's wrong because they said something like, I think there's like 4,000. But that arena did look pretty packed. So I don't know. Maybe it was like 4,000 paid.
Yeah, because I know quite a bit of it was papered. I think it was like 70-30, and 30 was papered. Which isn't bad for WCW in 2000, because I mean they were not doing well.
No, it was kind of already on the beep. As usual for today's reviews, as I have been doing lately, I'll be using the 411mania.com as our guidelines. There's a train roaring in the background, so we'll see if that's okay. Figured it was picking that up. So Bash of the Beach 2000 is obviously the big incident with Hogan, and I guess we'll talk about that later. But I never did really understand if that was like a shoot or like I don't know.
It was
we'll talk about that when we get to that.
It was like a work shoot.
Yeah. So I know it opens up with the cat rolling up. Ernest the Cat Miller rolls up, and the Young Dragons are fucking with him the entire show.
God. The backstage segments in this show were actually pretty funny.
Oh yeah, they were.
Like when they're coming out of the laundry hamper and everything. I leave the stereo on.
Yeah. And the hosts are, let me look at this real quick, because I know Schiavone, obviously. Scott Hudson, Mark Madden, and Tony Schiavone. One of them, I don't know who it was that was talking, but it just felt, I don't know, it felt like the C announce team with Schiavone. Like, because Schiavone's obviously an A-list commentator.
Right.
But the other guys, it just, I guess it's WCW 2000, so it felt like WCW 2000.
It never felt the same after the brain kind of left the desk.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
And Mongo, I mean.
Yeah.
Mongo was kind of a big part of that, too.
Yeah, Hudson was okay. I always preferred Mike Tenay, though.
Was Hudson bald dude?
Yeah.
On the R left of Schiavone?
On our left, yeah.
Okay.
Mark Madden's the bigger guy.
That's right.
And he obviously, he's still doing stuff. He works for a Pittsburgh radio station doing sports.
Oh, yeah, it says he was born in Pittsburgh, so there we go. Okay. And his last name is Madden, so he should probably do sports. The first match of the night is... Or create video games. First match of the night is Lieutenant Loco, Chavo Guerrero, defeating Juventud Guerrera for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship in 12 minutes and 7 seconds. It's not quite a 1997 Cruiserweight match, but it wasn't bad. It was an okay opener.
Good opener, fair. I really enjoyed the promo from Conan before the match. This was the time when he'd have the ladies with him, and he'd be like, they'd touch him, and he'd be like, "That's enough." I don't know why. I always thought that was funny as a kid, but
that's enough.
It still is funny. And then Disco being weird and repeating everything that Conan says.
Yeah, that I was gonna mention. I was like, why is he doing that? And then because they were, what is their faction name again here?
Oh my God.
Let me see here.
What
It
is
should
it?
say MIA.
MIA was Hugh Morris and
no.
Lieutenant Loco and or
I
Hugh
don't
G.
know.
Rection.
We'll figure it out. Hugh G. Rection. Anyways,
What were they?
yeah, it was
That's gonna bother me.
No, it's really bothering me. Let me see here. What about Lieutenant Loco? Oh, it's just gonna say Chavo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chavo.
Dun dun dun. Chavo. Dun 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 dun. Chavo. Dun dun dun. Anyways, yeah. I was gonna read through all this, I guess, on 4-Woman Mania here. It's kind of hard to hit bullet points on that. It didn't really. This show was kind of a hard one going into it. It was kind of a hard one to give my full attention to, but matches that I saw, like this one, I was like, it's probably going to be a pretty decent one.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the name. It's going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, because I just saw it 2 nights ago, and I can't remember now. Hoovy is carrying the title belt from an angle that I must have missed because I don't recall him stealing it. This is all coming from 4-1 Mania, by the way. The MIA and Animals are banned from ringside.
Filthy
Slugfest
Animals. There you go.
I thought Filthy Animals was Hooven's
Conan
group.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's Conan, Hoovy, Disco, and Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, that's right. I had the teams. I was going to say Filthy Animals was the other team. I had them mixed up.
Yeah.
Maskless
Rey Mysterio.
I remember I used to go to my hairdresser when I was a kid and say, I want the Rey Mysterio haircut, which is just a buzz cut. But my hairdresser watched wrestling, and she was like, all right, we'll give you the Rey Mysterio one, okay? And I'm like, I want to be Rey Mysterio when I grow up. Because I was small.
I'd go to mine and I'd say, I want the Uncle Terry Jean Balea.
And they're like, what?
What? What? What? What?
And then I'd show them a picture of Hulk Hogan, and they're like, who's Uncle Terry Jean Balea? No, I never got a Terry.
That's the Hulkster kid. Anyways, I won't read through all of that. But yeah, it's a good cruiserweight match. And like I said, it's out of the Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero days of fast-paced, badass, just nonstop cruiserweight action. It's more of bigger dudes, but man, Chavo and Juventud, they did a pretty good job here. I think
solid.
It was fast-paced enough. Yeah, it was pretty solid. There was like usual the outside interference, kind of. I mean, not too much interference, but like they were there, you know.
Yeah,
there had to be some
both
sort
teams
of
were banned from
on.
ringside, and both of them came out wearing masks because you couldn't tell that it was them because they were wearing the same stuff they were wearing when they brought the two down to the ring. So
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. The finish goes with, let's see here. Major Guns distracts Juventud, leading to a tornado DDT attempt, which is reversed to a drunk driver, which is reversed again to the curtain called by Chavo for a 2 count. Hoovy comes back with the drunk driver for a 2 count, and Chavo finishes with the tornado DDT. 411 here says too much sports entertainment and not enough wrestling, but the thought was there. They gave it 2 stars, but yeah. I think it was a little better, I guess, maybe, but
2.5-ish. This was a weird time in WCW because the weight classes were blurred lines in those. Like,
yeah,
Rey Mysterio already held the world heavyweight title. Kidman had just got out of a program with Hogan in the spring.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
And they were also, WCW was using the term sports entertainment for the first time, and they'd always called it wrestling
in this match too. Yeah, it was definitely weird because I heard it and I was like, I've never really heard them say that, and I thought it was a shot at the Fed.
It was,
but yeah, it figures. I feel like there was something in between here, but it's not noted.
I think this is when Jeff Jarrett's backstage.
With the cat, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes in the cat's
and
office.
The Viking lady, because the fat lady was going to sing for Uncle Terry's career.
That's right. Oh! Then we get the hardcore title match because the WCW hardcore title was necessary.
Yeah.
Big Vito versus Norman Smiley and Ralphus, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Johnny the Bull, but Johnny the Bull and Terry Funk had a hardcore match on Thunder, the previous Thunder before this, which I actually watched. Oof. Nitro and Thunder at this time. I mean, the pay-per-views were bad, but Nitro and Thunder were extremely bad.
Yeah.
So Terry Funk has taken Johnny the Bull under his wing, but his final test to get to the title, he has to fight Terry Funk, not Balea.
Because we would say Balea.
Right. So Johnny the Bull gets injured, and Big Vito needs an opponent. The cat finds an opponent, and it's Screaming Norman Smiley with the big wiggle and Ralphus.
Him and his screaming thing. Ralphus' gut is bigger than ever here.
Ralphus is the king.
I'll read this whole paragraph here. Hardcore title, Big Vito versus Norman Smiley. Hey, he's back and still wrestling for the same title. Yay. Vito adds Ralphus to the match because he's hardcore. We start on the rampway and head to the back. Ralphus has finally learned to swing a garbage can. CF Slamboree this year. I think that was the show. They fight on the hood of the truck and use plastic dinnerware of doom. Aw, geez. Even Madden's making jokes about it, so you know it's lame. They continue on into the elevator. Gee, one guess who's booking this match. Vito leaves Norman lying there and chases Ralphus back to the ring. Carnage ensues. Vito puts him through a table for the pin. Wow, one match in and back to jobbing for Norman.
Yep. I was really disappointed. I was really hoping, because I've watched this show, but it's always just kind of in the background.
I'm totally with you, yep. I've watched it a few times in the background.
I was really hoping that Ralphus would get the win.
Just to give Ralphus a pop, man.
Yeah, he was over, dude.
Especially with Jericho, yes.
Yeah, he was definitely over. At this time, it kind of wore off a little bit, but man, they were paying Ralphus big money. He was getting a couple $100,000 a year to do this shit. So, and he was a truck driver before that.
Oh man, it's just the way she goes, I guess.
The way she goes.
I think this is when they're cleaning up. Is this when they're cleaning up the ring outside after this match, or is that
that's after the wedding gown? Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what they went to here backstage, but there was a backstage segment in between everything, so there had to have been something.
Was this one Mike Awesome?
Not noted on here. Maybe it was Mike Awesome.
I feel like it. It was Nash.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just quick Nash and Mean Gene interview, right?
And Nash was not very engaged in the conversation.
Yeah, and it was just about how he wants to get his buddy's contract. He's got to beat Goldberg that's his friend, you know. They started in this business together or something, whatever he said. 2000 WCW is weird, and it's forgettable. It's highly forgettable.
Very. I had forgot all of this shit, other than, the title match.
Main event, and the wedding gown match is next, and I will be straight up. I skipped this match because I felt that there was no need for me to watch it, and so I'll read the notes here from 411 Mania.
I don't even know if that's necessary, dude.
we can just skip it. I mean, it was over David Flair, right?
Yeah, it's David Flair and Crowbar, which I always like Crowbar. Daphne I always thought she was cool. Miss Hancock, Stacy Keibler, obviously, but this match was so fucking god awful.
They gave it 4 stars, so
maybe for Stacy's dancing,
I guess. I don't know.
The match itself was garbage. And then the whole wedding cake thing, and Scott Hudson's like, Oh, it's never good when there's a wedding cake at ringside. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't
How many
understand what that
fucking
means.
matches have you seen with a wedding cake at ringside before this?
It just happens all the time, man.
Oh man, it was trash. This match sucked.
It wasn't a match.
It shouldn't have happened.
I noted it on SummerSlam 2000 as well, but I'll say it here too. Women's wrestling has come a long way in 20 years.
A long way.
Because now the women are putting on better matches, especially in the Fed. They're putting on better matches than the guys most of the time.
Yeah.
Like if I watch the Fed, I want to watch Becky and Charlotte and all the girls and Sasha and Bailey because it's good. It's good wrestling.
Mm-hmm. I will just say this about the quote unquote match. The finish was Stacy or Miss Hancock ripping her own gown off to dance. And then the ref calls for the bell and the ref sits down with Crowbar and they just watch her dance. And the ref had got pantsed and then tucks his ref shirt into his underwear, which was weird. Crowbar takes his own pants off. So they're sitting pantsless, crisscross applesauce, because we're not allowed to say Indian style anymore for some reason, because it's offensive. I don't know how. But whatever. And
Jemima offends me too.
Yeah, well, definitely. A syrup bottle that we've known and loved since forever.
And I've ate since I was fucking 2 years old. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the match was stupid. Let's move on.
Yeah, and that's why the cake is all over the place.
Yeah.
Then we go backstage, and this is when the Young Dragons
they're pouring fucking water bottles on the cake to try to get it off.
Yeah, and the dude mopping, I was like, are you fucking seriously trying to mop right now?
Yeah.
Like, I was getting pissed watching him just go, and I'm like, you're just smearing it everywhere, dude. Where's the bucket?
Yeah, it's the icing, dude. It's lard. You're doing no good.
And it was funny because I could almost see the exact moment that they got the call in the earpiece and just said, just flip the mat and fucking move on. Because they were just like, I don't know who those dudes were, but they were pathetic at cleaning up.
Yeah.
In a water bottle, I have to observe the one cleaning thing because I keep a clean kitchen.
Right.
So I have to I know how to clean some shit. All right. So I had to observe that. But yeah, and then we get the Young Dragons. They're practicing the art of not being seen by the cat, and the music in the background is playing, gives them away, and the cat's like, what is that? It's like, doo-doo. And then they attack him. I think that's when they attack him.
Yeah, that's when they're jumping out of the laundry bins.
Yeah. We get to, this is what 411 says, we get to hear the idiots talk for a while as the inept ring crew attempts to clean up the mess from the cake with bottled water and a mop. Hey guys, it's called soap and water. Look it up. Either the crowd is inordinately excited at regularly timed intervals about watching the cleanup job, or the heat machine is still on. You got that right, 411 Mania. And then we get the WCW World Tag Title match, the Perfect Event, which was Chuck Palumbo and Sean Stasiak, Meat, versus Chronic, Brian Adams and Brian Clark.
Yes.
And I got to say, this one was fairly enjoyable because it was just a normal tag team match.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. There wasn't bullshit going on. It was just a straight up tag match with different guys. It's not, it's not Harlem Heat and the Outsiders for the 300th time. It's 2000 WCW with new people. And man, Chronic was always cool because those are some massive dudes.
Yeah,
and
it's Crush and Wrath. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's okay. I knew it was Crush, and the other dude, I couldn't think of who that was. Adams dumps Palumbo and presses Stasiak onto him. Back in Chronic toys with the champs for a bit. Adams gets double teamed outside and plays Pothead and Peril back in. A sleeper from both Perfect and Event follows. Stasiak sure likes that move. Hot tag to Clark follows eventually, but Palumbo escapes the meltdown with the world's crappiest DDT. Pier 6 erupts and the champs double team Clark. Chronic comes back and hits 2 high times and a sort of powerbomb variant on the Doomsday device to finish it and win the tag titles back. The match sucked and dragged badly near the end, and Chronic never should have lost the belts to begin with. I kind of disagree. I think the match was one of the highlights of the show, as far as like a normal match goes. Like
any other pay-per-view, it would have been a shitty match. This pay-per-view, it was fantastic.
I think it's context. Yeah, context is key in that because of what was on this card. That's like, okay, cool. It's just a normal tag match. I didn't see anything too wrong with it. It's early for that.
What a great name for a tag team, by the way, Chronic.
Yeah,
especially in 2000.
Dr. Dre Chronic was out that year.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if they were like, if it was a weed thing. Is it a weed thing?
Well, I mean, their finishing move was called High Times. So
yeah, that's true.
You be the judge.
Yeah. Okay, you can turn the shower on now instead of just running the water forever. Let's just have a moment of silence for the shower that's running real quick. You can hear it, right?
Yeah. I heard it turn on because my eyes went.
Yeah, I figured that's what that was. Let's see. I feel like there was something backstage in between this. They don't have all that.
This could have been Mike Awesome because we got the Nash one before. So I think this was Mike Awesome.
Then we get Canyon versus Booker T. Another standout match on the card because it was normal, not a lot of bullshit.
Two good workers.
Sense.
Who better than Canyon?
Who better than Canyon? When did he say that? Was it during Positively Canyon or was it before?
I think it was when he was with the Triad. So before this. So like 99.
Yeah.
Because here he's just wearing a wig and pretending to basically be DDP.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, DDP.
Friend of the show. Good friend of the show.
Our best friend, Diamond Dallas Page.
411 says, you know, you don't get much more street cred than a white guy in a Hollywood Hogan shirt raising the roof at ringside.
That's a little racist.
Yeah. Booker T chant to start. Good for you, Daytona. Canyon bails quickly. Back in. Booker dumps Canyon and disposes of the brick in the book. Missile clothesline gets 2. Oh, the 2 count. They brawl outside, and Canyon puts Book under the stairs and then chairs them. Ooh. Canyon controls back in with his groovy inverted Boston Crab, which Booker powers out of for 2. Reversed by Canyon for 2. Booker comes back with the Spinebuster for 2. Canyon uses the brickless Book of Doom, but there's no brick. So Booker spins up, axe kick, scissor kick, and the bookend gets 2 count. Jeff Jarrett runs in, guitars Booker, and the Canyon Cutter finishes for Canyon. Yes, that means Booker's getting the title tonight. He gave it 2 3/4 stars. That was the one thing about this show that I was like, that's weird that he loses to Canyon and then he wins the belt later.
Right.
Very strange booking. Like, as much as Russo had this thought out, because we've all heard the story about how he had to talk to Hogan. We're about to get to that, but you would think it'd be like Booker has to go over Canyon.
Yeah.
But
and
it wasn't a clean finish.
It wasn't a clean finish, so that there's that. But he also
make him look strong.
Had a hard on for Booker T, like big time. Like, which I mean, we all did in 2000. I thought as a kid, I remember thinking Booker T.
I always liked Book. Yeah.
So.
He deserved the 2000 run, but then the belt changed 300 times, so it was like it made his run less. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent match. I mean, the only thing that kind of keeps the credibility is the fact that the finish was interference and screwy.
There was a lot of tomfoolery going around on this event.
Yeah. Then we get the U.S. title match, and that's Scott Steiner versus Mike Awesome. Maybe this was the Mike Awesome promo. I don't know what's in between. This isn't the best written 411 article. Let's put it that way. I love this website. I'm probably going to use it from now on because it's free, unlike the Wrestling Observer. But these guys usually write pretty good articles, but this one's kind of just thrown together, it seems like. No disrespect.
Probably because the show was thrown together.
Just thrown together. Yeah, exactly. Because I have the same SummerSlam 2000 one brought up for SummerSlam 2000. So we'll see the difference. But yeah, it's probably just because they weren't enthused about the show, whoever wrote the article. Scott Steiner versus Mike Awesome. If I were booking, I'd put Awesome over for the title here, so you can build a new star with him and not particularly hurt Steiner. But it's Russo's, so we shall see. And again, the announce team borrows my material as Madden makes a French fries joke about Shane Douglas. If only Madden would take his stuff from Silent Bob instead of Jay. Awesome hits a Topcon helo over the railing to start, and we brawl into the crowd, to the back. And back to the ring again. Into the ring where Steiner drops an elbow for 2. Awesome comes back, but goes up and gets suplexed off. Fight to the outside where Awesome goes nuts with a chair. Into the ring again. Steiner hits belly to belly, but the cat prevents the recliner. Awesome gets a roll-up for 2 and a frog splash for 2. Ref is bumped. Cat interferes to no effect. Steiner suplexes Awesome for 2 and applies the recliner. So the cat rings the bell and strips Steiner of the U.S. title, which is probably the lamest ending possible because it devalues an already worthless title even more, since there was no evidence that Steiner cared about that belt to begin with. Match was okay. Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay. And I agree.
Forgettable.
Mark Madden could have kept his mouth shut a little bit more on this show. And he's referring to Jay and Silent Bob. The movie Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, it just came out.
Yeah.
And he was constantly saying Snoochie Boochies for the last couple of weeks on Nitro and Thunder. Or Nitro because it's the Brain and Shivani on Thunder. But Nitro, Madden just kept saying Snoochie Boochies. And he says it again here before this match. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Oh,
I feel like Madden was trying to be Heenan too much. Like, he was trying to fill that heel color guy.
He was trying to be a cross between Bobby Heenan and Howard Stern. That's what he always reminded me of.
Yeah, that makes sense. We get the video package and then the graveyard match with the Demon versus Vampiro. This one, I don't really need to read their thing on, but this was a weird... it was just kind of there. It wasn't... I don't know. I was dozing out while I was watching it, but I was watching it, and I was just like, okay.
It was stupid. It was fucking stupid. It was it was nothing like the Boneyard match. It was nothing even like the Boner Yard match, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But holy fuck. Okay, so the Demon idea, I don't know what the fuck. I remember when Gene Simmons' book came out and I bought it. Or I got it for Christmas. But I remember I read it in like 2 hours because I was just flying through it, just get that Kiss knowledge in me. But he does talk about the Demon idea, the wrestler idea, because wrestling was hot. He knew that. He knew he could make a buck off of it. And the fact that they... At one point, it was supposed to be all 4 Kiss characters were supposed to have wrestlers based on them.
Oof.
Not only that, they were going to have female versions of all 4 characters. So it was going to be like a big stable of Kiss characters.
Well, it's politically correct.
But, oh, man. I mean, I was hyped because Kiss was really, really popular again at this point. And this is around the time of the farewell tour. So the farewell tour, the first one. But
that was 20 years ago. That's
yeah. I saw him April 25th of 2000. But it didn't go over well. It was stupid. Should have never happened. And the funniest thing is Gene actually pitched the idea to Vince first. And Vince thought it was dumb. And then he went to Bischoff. And if I remember correctly, Shivani's a big Kiss fan, and he was all on board for it.
Huh.
And then they were going to have a pay-per-view on New Year's Eve, and it was going to be half Kiss concert, half wrestling event.
Because that's that WCW money, you know? And Kiss is getting a paycheck out of that.
It just makes fucking sense.
This makes sense. Yeah, let's move on.
The match was shit.
I like the little insight that you had, though. I'm glad you read. I'm glad the Kiss knowledge comes in handy.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah, well, for the Demon. I mean, it's Gene Simmons. And we get Buff Bagwell versus Shane Douglas. Speaking of no redeeming value, it's nice to see Bagwell being punished for getting arrested and being an asshole backstage by sticking him on a pay-per-view marquee match. Kidman, take note. You should have left with the rest of them. Brawl outside to start to disguise the fact that neither guy can work a wrestling match anymore. Back in for some resting, and Tori wiggles down to ringside and distracts Shane long enough for Buff to get a 2 count. But since it didn't end the match, Russo logic dictates that this is a swerve. Yeah. Because swerves sell tickets. And of course, she turns off Buff, and Shane hits the Pittsburgh plunger for 2. Buff gets a DDT and tries the blockbuster, but Tori stops him, and Shane lifts Danny Doring's wham bam, thank you, ma'am, inverted stunner for the pin. Blah. This is a massive waste of Tori, especially given the heat stink that Douglas has become. That's what 401 says about it. Let me look at who wrote this article, actually, so I can give them credit. Scott Keith, August 29th, 2002. Scott Keith posted this. So credit to him for all the stuff I'm reading. Yeah. But, yeah, this match was what it was. It was kind of a little more fast-moving than I expected. But like he said, Russo logic, of course, has to be a swerve.
Yeah.
Where Tori turns on Buff and then leaves with Shane Douglas, and it's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, because she slaps Shane, but then gives Buff the old nut.
Yeah,
kick.
That's the confusing part. So I don't know, whatever. It's just
wrestling logic.
Vince Russo booking logic, bro. And then, of course, after this is when it happens. We get the WCW World Title match, if you want to call it that. Jeff Jarrett versus Hulk Hogan.
He's American man. He's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins.
We see Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan's here. He's walking in the back. And they got it. He's got it written real short, but I don't even really need to read it. But Vince Russo is at ringside. Jeff Jarrett.
He comes out first.
Down.
Jarrett's music plays. Jarrett doesn't come out. Russo comes out with a baseball bat. Jeff Jarrett comes out like right after him, finally. And then, yeah. So Russo's at ringside.
Yeah, and the bell rings, and as soon as the bell rings, Jarrett lays down, and Hogan's like, seriously? And then he does. See, because Russo explained that this is what he pitched to Hogan, because first Hogan said, that doesn't work for me, brother. And in the shoot interview, Russo says, okay, we're going to make you look like the best ever or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you have to do this, and it's going to look – you have to leave the building. It's going to look like you have real heat. Blah, blah, blah. So that's where I'm confused as, like, was it planned that Jarrett was supposed to lay down? And then he's like, hey, Hogan, you got to do this. And Hogan's like, what the fuck? Because Hogan says this is why the company is in the shape it's in.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
bullshit
kind of
like this.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of where the line you break the fourth wall, if you will, and say that. I feel like that's kind of just realistic. I don't know. It's confusing because I don't know how much of a shoot it was.
So when I listened to 83 Weeks last night, yes, kids, I listened to 83 Weeks last night to get more context after watching this.
Which is my favorite Conrad show, by the way.
Bischoff said that Hogan knew that Jarrett was going to lay down. He goes, oh, yeah, brother, because then I'm going to leave with the belt.
Okay.
And he left with the fake belt. Because Jarrett comes out later with the real belt that has the dent on the top. That's how you could tell. So
and one of the plates on the side is like hanging off.
Yeah.
It's not all the way on.
So he knew, and he said, yeah, brother, because then I come back. They had planned this out through October, Bischoff and Hogan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they said at Halloween Havoc, they were gonna have a tournament before, and it was gonna be 2 heels in the match at Halloween Havoc. So it would have probably been Jarrett and somebody else in the match at Halloween Havoc. And Hogan is supposed to come out say, well, brother, I have a belt too. You're not going to have – whoever wins this match isn't the champion. Whoever wins this match has to face me to be the real champion, brother. Brother.
Yeah.
So that's how that's how it was planned out to him, according to Bischoff. Russo's version is a little different. And Russo was supposed to have called Hogan the next day, but Brad Siegel told him, we can't afford him. We can't afford to have him on the show. Don't call him. And Russo said, I should have called him anyways because I gave him my word I would call him. I didn't call him. And that's where then you get the defamation of character lawsuit by Hogan towards WCW and Vince Russo. And that's where that goes. And that I think it was like 2002 or 2003 before it actually got resolved in court. And Bischoff said he was the one that advised Hogan to sue. He said, I knew he should sue and I knew he would win.
Okay. That's good to know. That clears it up a little bit. Yeah. Because everybody's said, most people that worked with him have said it, but they say you don't trust Russo as far as you can throw him because of shit like this.
And I mean, honestly,
and he books day to day, like Bischoff said in Bash episode. He said he books. He doesn't think about the future. He just books the Crash TV or whatever.
And Bischoff admitted, he said, I can book a storyline. I suck at booking finishes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was constructive criticism, even though he hates Russo, but he was being constructive and being honest by saying, he was good at what he was good at, but he couldn't do this. And that's what wrestling is. You have to be able to book in advance or it doesn't work.
Yeah. This has to be an art. You know, it can't just be a one night thing. And it's like, okay, what do we do now? I don't know.
What do you have? What's next? And that's what Hogan was asking. Well, what's next? Well, we don't know. Well, that doesn't work for my brother.
So they give him a bullshit story to make him happy and think,
So it was a work shoot with, like that famous Hogan tweet. It's all a work, brother, but be careful because you'll work yourself in a shoot, brother. So it was a work shoot that turned into a shoot towards Hogan.
That was, Okay. Well, there's a little insight on that for anybody who doesn't know those things, because even that cleared up some stuff for me. Because I've listened to most 83 weeks episodes, and actually most all of them, but that one I've never listened to, and I don't know why.
I remember that's when I was still listening to it when that one came out. So I'd listen to it when it came out, and then I was like, I should listen to that again last night because I want to refresh the stories and have something to bring to the table here.
Yeah. All right. Well, after that, Vampiro returns and he comes out and talks. And you know what? I wanted to throw this out here, but I always loved the Vampiro character. Vampiro is awesome to me. He's in good shape. He's a big dude. He's
been around forever already here.
Yeah. The character was kind of perfect for 2000. I wish he would have got a world title run. That never happened. But this kind of just keeps the feud of Sting going. And a bunch of Sting masked druids come out and carry out a coffin. And then like a Sting druid comes out of that. The lights go out and they're kind of like, oh my God, is that Sting? Blah, 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 whatever. And they put Vampiro in the coffin. He's fake sleeping very well. And then it goes on.
And it was not the real Sting that came out.
No.
It was a local guy.
And then that's when Russo comes out again, and he's bitching about the backstage politics. He's saying shit and goddamn a lot. Yeah. And he said, we'll never see that piece of shit in this company again. And
Hulk Hogan, you bald-headed bastard, you can kiss my ass.
So I guess this is what he was talking about. Like, this is his little thing where he comes out and buries Hogan, and it's got to look real, and this is a shoot. And even after this, the announcers are all going, okay, well, this wasn't scripted, blah, blah, blah. It's not in our script. They just keep going about how it wasn't scripted. This is a shoot. And Tony Schiavone even says, this is what you call a shoot.
Yeah.
So.
And Scott Hudson's like,
Yeah, he's like, what's happening?
But that's the part that they talk about that Hogan didn't know he was going to do that. So they had already left.
Yeah.
They flew from Daytona to Clearwater to go to Hogan's house, and Bischoff said, "Yeah, we were all high-fiving on the way to the plane. We were high-fiving on the plane, and then when we land, we turn our phones back on, and both of our phones lit up like Christmas trees. Everybody's saying what Russo did. That's what pissed Hogan off because he didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's when everything got fucked up. And with the fact that Russo didn't call him the next day, he thought it was a shoot.
Yeah. Because Russo was supposed to call and he never did. So yeah. Then we get Goldberg versus Kevin Nash for Scott Hall's contract or whatever. Yeah, this match was Kevin Nash versus Goldberg in a shorter. It's a short Kevin Nash versus Goldberg match. I'm trying to see if I even really need to read these notes. I'll just read it real quick. Now, if only Russo had done the same job on Kevin Nash, my night would be complete. Oh, well, there's always next pay-per-view. Nash gets a quick choke slam as Steiner joins us at ringside. Nash side slam gets a 2 count. Spear misses, and he gets it's a double KO. Nash goes for the powerbomb, and Steiner makes a long overdue heel turn against Nash. Then spear, jackhammer, and the 3 count. Doug Goldberg tears up Hall's contract, and good riddance. 2 bad angles aren't legally binding because I could live with never seeing either Hall or Nash again.
Wow.
Now I can't. Yeah, I love Hall and
either.
Nash. That's a little
rough.
That's a little harsh there.
We would never say that.
Yeah. So anyways, that was what it was. If you're going to watch Goldberg and Nash, I guess you should watch the Starrcade 99 one because it's more of a match, I guess, but
yeah, everything that I heard over the last couple of days from listening to all this shit, it was a way to give Goldberg his win back from Starrcade. Because apparently that bugged him for some reason.
8 months later.
Yeah.
9 months later. All right, and then we go on to the world title match. Jeff Jarrett versus Booker T. This is, the announcers once again are like, this is not booked, so we're just going to wing it, basically. Wasn't on the thing. So, anyways, yeah. This is the best part of the show, of course, the main event, because Booker T finally gets his. And it's Jeff Jarrett and Booker T, and they have another match at New Blood Rising, and then I think they have 1 or 2 more throughout the year, and then it's Scott Steiner and Booker T feud going into like 2000, I think. 2001, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't read the notes on this one, but I thought this was a pretty good match. Not too much fuckery,
a little,
if I remember. A little bit, but not too much. Yeah, I don't know. I just watched it this morning, but it bothers me when I've watched this match multiple times and I don't remember it per se, but I guess it's because my mind is like, you don't need to.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to watch all of the Jarrett and Booker T matches to see if, like, which one is the best.
Yeah.
Because this one's obviously great because it's like Booker T gets that crowning moment finally, but he loses the belt. I think at the next one it goes back to Jarrett.
Yeah, it's quick. The match is decent. I mean, it's a Jeff Jarrett Booker T match, but the real story behind it is like just when Book wins the title, the crowd reaction, like you really see how over he was at this time.
Yeah, and overdue.
And the genuine like reaction he gave, because he didn't know this match was going to happen really before this. And that's the cool thing about wrestling sometimes is when something like this happens, you do get a positive out of it.
And they just kind of put it back. I guess they had to put it together backstage and just say, okay, let's just wing it. And if they winged it, they did a really good job winging it.
Yeah.
You know?
Just, I mean, like I said, the crowd reaction, everybody raising the roof and everything.
Yeah.
It was cool. And he was, like screaming with holding the belt up on the turnbuckle. It was an awesome visual to
It's
see.
a good moment.
Even
Good
20
moment
years
to see
later,
it.
it was so cool to see it. Because you
And then,
don't
of
see
course,
it a
we
lot.
know. No, you don't get to see those big crowning moments a lot anymore, unless it's, a company who cares about building new stars. But yeah, as you know, Booker T goes into WWF as the WCW champion because he wins it on the final Nitro, I believe, and he eventually loses it to The Rock at SummerSlam 2001, which maybe we'll cover this year. I don't think we've done 2001, have we?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I know we did 05. We did Terry and Sean.
And we did 02, and yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 01. And then I already have an episode art for New Blood Rising, by the way. So.
Yeah, I was thinking we should probably do that one.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's Bash of the Beach 2000. It is what it is.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, that's Bash of the Beach 2000. So, stay tuned for more videos.
Yeah, now.
Yes. We'll do. We're gonna do. Okay, so watch this one. Then go to the current events. We're gonna talk about Talking Shop Mania. Then we're gonna do SummerSlam 2000. Neither one of those are gonna be as long as this video, though. So.
Yeah, we're gonna.
But in audio form, it'll all be together because that's too much.
Yes.
Too much editing.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in the next video.